Hi, this is a quick review of the ins and outs of the Dell XPS One 2710. This is an old computer that my parents used occasionally for a decade. Since I was sending it away, I thought it could be interesting to shoot a video on it. The XPS 2710 was sold at a time when all-in-ones were becoming quite popular. I've always been a skeptic of this form factor. It ties the monitor to essentially laptop-grade components that aren't upgradable. Still, this particular model has some decent materials. The main chassis and the stand are made of aluminum, though the back cover is plastic. It has a decent selection of ports, including 6 USB 3 and HDMI in and out. Unfortunately, the 6 USB ports aren't equally fast, probably due to some board design issues. There is also 1 gigabit Ethernet, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. At the top edge, there is a full HD webcam with privacy shutter and stereo mics. The screen is covered by the most reflective glass you can find on the display, and it uses low-frequency PWM. In the dark, you can almost see it flickers, possibly at 50 Hz. The only way to make it usable is with the help of this Iris Pro application. It is able to tune down the brightness and reduce blue light using software. This, however, requires us to crank the brightness of the display up to essentially 100%. And at this point, the contrast is almost gone. It's completely washed out. So overall, it's a very bad display. Surprisingly, the XPS 2710 runs Windows 10 with only a single issue. The SD card reader doesn't work. All other drivers either are installed by Windows or can be installed manually using drivers for Windows 7. This is not something you'd read on the forums, because the forums will tell you that this model can't really run Windows 10. Well, it's not my experience. Opening it up is easy and requires just a Philips 2 driver. Once we slide the back cover open, we can see the power supply, the optical drive, and the hard drive bay to which the stand is fixed, and the cover for the main circuit board. Upon removing the stand, we can access the SATA drive. The computer came with an ultra-slow 1 gigabyte 3.5-inch drive, hard drive this is. I've been temporarily using it with a SATA SSD. To access the motherboard, we need a Philips One driver. Here is also a window to access the DDR3 RAM slots with a single screw. But if we remove the 8 screws around this cover, we can see the motherboard and the meager cooling solution. The GPU is cooled by just a fan that blows to God knows where. The CPU has 2 heat pipes. The 2710 came with wireless mouse and keyboard. The receiver is hidden by the speakers behind the cover. It uses USB 2.0, so technically this computer has 7 USB ports. This is it. Overall, it was a purchase that I was uncertain of due to its glossy screen and lack of upgradability. It proved to be solidly built, even though the design is not as premium as its look may suggest.